Let's talk about notch counts. I got an overlap here of the Teachman and Heritage study on my screen. So let's throw this up over here. So if you haven't read the Teachman study, probably one of the most profound studies when it comes to dealing with marital happiness. Okay. The Heritage study is another one as well, too. You just Google it. Google the Heritage study on marriage, Google the Teachman study on marriage, and you'll come across them. But this chart over here, some of you may have seen it. It might be new, brand new for others. Why don't I do it? There we go. Let's make it easier to read. Go back to full screen here. This one, I think. There we go. So at the top over here, it's the stable marriage rate per Teachman superimposed on Heritage study calculated on 10-year divorce risk. So again, this is the stability of the marriage. 0 partners at marriage is 80%. The chance of things working out in a marriage, which seems to be the goal for most guys still, I don't know why. If you've read my book, I have an entire chapter that deals with why smart men don't marry. You can, in fact, be in a relationship with a woman and love her and not marry her. You can, in fact, be in a relationship with a woman and love her and have children and not be exposed to these risks if you structure it properly. But most guys are not ready for that conversation. There's some stuff on my email list that breaks down some of those details. Again, you'll get that when you opt in for the 21 red flags. If you're not on the email list, get on the email list. So back to the Teachman Heritage study. 80% chance of happiness if you marry a virgin bride. As the notch count goes up, the chances of a successful marriage go down. On the left axis over here is a percentage chance of happiness. On the bottom axis over here is the number of lifetime non-marital sexual partners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it goes 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20, and then 21 plus. And as you'd expect, as the notches go up, the chances of happiness in a marriage or sticking goes down. I don't know why this is so controversial to people. I don't know why people get so upset when men ask to, when men have concerns, if I can put it that way, when men have concerns about a woman's past, I don't know why people get so upset about it. The only reason I can think of why they would get so upset about it is because the truth hurts and they don't want to be exposed to the truth. The truth will always sound like lies or hate, more specifically to those that hate the truth. That's simply not true. If men can do it, women can do it. Like, you've heard all the stories, but the fact of the matter is that they've actually studied this. They've collected the data, they've aggregated it, and they've summarized it. And the more dudes she's been with, like if you get to 16 to 20, which seems to be the lowest area, you're down to 17% versus 80%. 80% chance things are going to work out good. You marry a virgin? Good. You don't? You get a gal that's been with 16 to 20 partners, 17%. You go 6 to 10, it's only 28%. I don't know who in their right mind would expose themselves to the risk associated with giving up half your shit, potentially paying support or alimony to somebody that you're not even with anymore years into the future, and have her alienate you from your own children simply by choosing the wrong woman. This should be an immediate disqualification for anything that would closely resemble a marriage. I'm not saying don't date. I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not saying don't indulge. Whatever. You're going to do what you're going to do anyway. And women are going to do what they're going to do anyway, which is clearly be promiscuous today. But I can tell you that there's absolutely no man in history. I would bet the farm on this. There's absolutely no man in history, unless he's an absolute cuck. An exception to a rule doesn't disprove a rule. But men are not sitting around on their wedding day, sitting in front of all of their family at the reception, with the cake and the band and everybody, having a good time sort of thing, dressed to the nines, looking good, sitting there thinking to himself, looking over at his bride going, I really wish she wasn't like a virgin or had a very low notch count, and that she had spent her time, in her 20s, perhaps running around with 50 to 75 more guys, sharing her body with those guys. There's no guy in history that has ever thought that to himself. And I get that that's a frustrating component. of the truth about relationships that exists out there for a lot of women, but it's the truth nonetheless. Where is the lie? The data supports it. The divorce rates support it. Everything I've talked about supports it. People call me a lot of things over the years, but they've never called me a liar. I'm still waiting for somebody to point to something like that. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.